Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to comment about this International Tea Day because, Mr. Speaker, Kenya produces very high quality tea. And internationally, Mr. Speaker, Kenyan tea is used for blending other low quality teas. And so much so, Mr. Speaker, that countries like Great Britain, which do not grow even a single tree of tea, have what is called English tea. And English tea is sold as one of the best teas in the world, Mr. Speaker. And yet Britain does not even have a single tree of tea in their country. Mr. Speaker, this is because of the trade barriers. Mr. Speaker, when it comes to protectionism, internationally, even in the WTOs, it is a very, very big argument that the developed countries where we export our goods, they want us to continue as appendages of supply of raw materials to their industries, thus creating jobs in their own countries. And Mr. Speaker, they want us to be exporting raw tea. That is why I think Honorable Sifuna was asking, where is the Kenyan branded tea? I mean, what is the brand of Kenyan tea internationally? Internationally, we might not have. We only have Ketepa here locally, Mr. Speaker. But when you want to export tea, processed tea, high quality tea of Kenya, they put very high tariff barriers on the teas so that you cannot access their market with those very high tariffs that they put on the tea. So they come here in Mombasa, tea is auctioned raw, and Mr. Speaker, access their market if you process, if you do value addition. Mr. Speaker, this is the area where we should work on together with all the other countries together so that we can access those markets with the value-added goods, Mr. Speaker, so that our farmers and our people can get better value for our sweat and for our money, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Let's go now to Bungoma County.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii. Mheshimiwa Spika, wengi wametaja na kusifia kunywa ama kubugia chai, aina yote ya chai. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, katika kizazi hiki katika serikali ya Kenya Kwanza, japo tunasherehekea siku ya kimataifa ya chai, lazima tuhakikishe kwamba katika vitongoji vya nchi hii wakulima na wanywaji wa chai wanajivunia vinywaji hivi. Mheshimiwa Spika, katika bonde la Ufa katika Mlima Kenya, miundombinu na msingi imewekwa imara kwa linda wakulima wa majani chai na viwanda vya majani chai. Lakini katika mkoa wa Magharibi, Mheshimiwa Spika, mambo ni tofauti. Japo tunasherehekea kimataifa, kimashinani watu wa mkoa wa Magharibi wana maswali ya kuuliza. Katika mkoa wa Magharibi, hususan Mlima Elgon na vitongoji vya Bungoma, tulikubaliana na serikali kwamba ni lazima ama ni sharti kuwe na viwanda ama kiwanda katika mlima ili wakulima wa majani chai katika eneo hilo waweze kufurahia kama wenzio katika sehemu mbalimbali za nchi ya Kenya. Hadi sasa mfumo wa makadirio ya kifedha yamepita, lakini bado tunaishi kwa matumaini. Tunataraji kwamba isiwe hadithi ya matumaini ya mbwa kutamatika pale mlango unapofungwa na mlango wa jikoni, Mheshimiwa Spika. Sasa tunajadili umuhimu ama ubora wa majani chai, lakini hatuwezi kuwa na majani chai ambayo yana hali ya juu iwapo pembejeo ni gushi. Iwapo pembejeo hizi watu hawataki kuwajibika na kuhakikisha kwamba wakulima wa majani chai, wakulima wa pareto, wakulima wa kahawa wanapata mbolea ambayo inastahili na hivi kwamba viwe viwango vya kimataifa. Sasa japo tunafurahi tuna changamoto kama serikali kuhakikisha kwamba tuendelee kufurahia kwa pamoja kwa jasho la haki. Pasio wakulima wanatoa jasho na wachache wanakula manufaa ya jasho la wakulima katika nchi ya Kenya. Sasa ni jukumu letu sisi wote kama maseneta katika jumba hili tuhakikishe tunawatenda haki wakulima, tunawatenda haki wanywaji wa chai na vile vile washikadau katika sekta nzima ya chai katika nchi ya Kenya. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika, nawatakia sikukuu ya chai.
We have this honor, Daniel Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, tea is a very important plant in the country, and I want to take a direction. There has been issues, although most of them have been sorted out either by legislation or by management or by government, where tea farmers were not getting a proper deal from their sweat. And Mr. Speaker, my first trip to Meru was with you when we were going to sort out a very urgent matter on tea growers, and we went to your constituency with yourself and quite a number of members of parliament, and the farmers came out strong, Mr. Speaker. And with your leadership, a solution of the tea farmers is to be found within 24 hours. They had threatened to uproot all the trees, and they were now going to plant more profitable plants. Mr. Speaker, we should never find ourselves in that situation for tea farmers in the country, whereby when they sell their tea, Mr. Speaker, there are delays in their payment. Mr. Speaker, when they sell their tea, they should be paid the right value for the tea, Mr. Speaker. I know the tea is marketed in Kenya and all over the world, and for many years I've been in the Committee for Agriculture, and I'm very familiar with what is happening in Mombasa, in the tea markets, and also what is happening abroad in the tea auctions. Mr. Speaker, now our tea, and especially tea from Meru and Mount Kenya generally, is highly sold in Russia through Dubai. So our marketers have happened now to find a new huge market in Russia. And therefore, we should make sure that, Mr. Speaker, at all material times, that the farmers get value for their sweat, and they get value for what they work for, and they get value for their commodity. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I support.
Senator Kisang Kipkemoi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, also arise to make comments on the International Tea Day, and also to confirm that Elgeyo Marakwet County, actually we are tea growing county. You know, we are known for other things, but we also grow tea, and we have one factory, and we are in the process of getting a second factory, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as a country, you know, Kenya, we produce high-quality tea, as our colleague Senior Oburu has said. But the biggest challenge that we have is we export raw tea. England, UK is using our tea and processing and packaging, and they call it English tea. You go to UK and buy expensive tea, and the beneficiaries are not Kenyans who are growing the tea, Honorable Speaker. That's why it is very important that if there are any barriers that doesn't allow us to export our processed tea, that we do the way the President has done with the Chabanese, the Toyota in Chaban, Honorable Speaker, where they are coming to Kenya and set up a factory to manufacture spare parts. We also need to, if they don't open up and these barriers, then we make them to come and process the tea here in the country so that we can generate employment opportunities for our youth, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you remember early 80s and early 90s, Honorable Speaker, when there was a lot of deforestation, the late President Daniel Arap Moi came up with Nyayo Tea Zones. And the reason for Nyayo Tea Zone was to ensure we conserve our forests. I believe also we need to encourage our communities, because in the process of planting and growing 15 billion trees, Honorable Speaker, we need to partner with Kenya Forest Service so that we can ensure all around our forest, instead of fencing our forest, Honorable Speaker, we plant a few meters of tea, which will generate employment. It will give us foreign exchange and also employ our youth, Honorable Speaker. It's very important. And Honorable Speaker, people have talked about addiction, maybe Miraa and Mukuka, Honorable Speaker. I believe even tea, the Keteba tea that we have taken forever, Fari, Kenya, we have some very pure tea, Honorable Speaker. Maybe we need to put something that can make our youth get addicted to tea instead of other things. We need to ask Keteba if there is anything that we can put so that, we become addicted to tea and not the other issues, Honorable Speaker. Sifuna, I know you are saying you are highest consumer of tea in Western Kenya. If anything, majority, if you go to Rift Valley, we don't consume the other things you guys consume. We consume tea and milk. Honorable Speaker, tea, just tea and milk. Honorable Speaker, let's encourage also our people that where they have fertile land, where tea can be grown, we should encourage them to start planting maybe an acre, 2, 3 acres, 5 acres of tea, Honorable Speaker, so that we can have more cash crops across the country, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I support this today. We need to celebrate and celebrate our farmers, Honorable Speaker, because the person to celebrate most should be the farmers and also the consumers. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support this particular
Last but not the
statement.
least, Senator Abbas Sheikh.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The tea growers think that only they have the right for tea only, while Northern Kenya people are the highest consumers of tea. So I think I want to tell you that you should appreciate that we take a lot of tea, and we are marketing the tea of Kenya. But Honorable Speaker, I think much has been said that the tea in Kenya, the Kenyan tea is actually of high value, and but the unfortunate thing is the tea is being monopolized by the multinationals that are growing it. The Kenyan farmers are disadvantaged. They rarely access the market, and most of the tea is now sold in auction. I think this gives a disadvantage to our farmers. One other thing is that tea coming from Kenya, especially which is one of the best tea, is that people like UK, they grow tea also. Pakistan, they grow tea, but they still import from here and repackage it and rename it. Rebrand it again and rename it. That the source of the tea is coming from Pakistan,